Well, this is my Suzuki DL650A, sometimes called the V-Strom and sometimes called a wee Strom, because there's also a DL1000 or DL1050 versions of this. This one happens to have a V-twin engine. The newer ones have a parallel twin, and I think they've been bumped up to 700 cc's. This is the adventure model, and it's got some added features. We got a charge port down here. We got crash bars. We got the rock slider down there. Actually, it's an engine protector. It's got additional lighting. It's got heated grips. It's got these to protect your hands from the wind. It's got a helmet lock here. It's got the genuine Suzuki bags, missing the handles that are supposed to be here. So I put some Gorilla Tape on there to keep the water from going in. Doesn't work. Water still gets in there. I don't know if it's through those or not. This thing came up with a error code. When you, well, the key won't turn right now. Maybe because it's not down all the way. But you'll get a light up here, a red light, that says F1, and then you go through a bunch of mesh in it. There it is. It came up. You go through a bunch of different things. You pull one of these plugs out here and put a jumper on it, and you'll be able to get the code that tells you what's wrong. And the code, in this case, you can't see it. It's not on there now because I didn't do all that other stuff. But the code it's got is a C28. And that C28 indicates that you've got a problem with your secondary throttle valve actuator or something like that. Anyway, it's a little black box that sits on top of the fuel injection for the 2 cylinders, and I'm thinking maybe that it's nothing more than some mouse pee has gotten into it, and we need to get in there and clean it out. Might be a nest right on top of it. Well, they don't make it easy. You got to take these pieces loose on both sides. Then there's a piece that goes over here that you got to take off. But that's not enough. You got to take this stuff off. This here. I imagine it's these 2 screws here. I couldn't find a YouTube video that gave me instructions for my particular model. And I can see that these lights are going to have to come off because this all has to come off, I believe, to get the tank off. And then once you get everything disconnected there, you come back and take that number 12 M12 bolt out of there, and you lift up the back a little bit, and you got a quick disconnect for your fuel line and for your vent hose or overflow. You've got an electronic plug for your fuel gauge. that goes to it. So I got half of it done. I got these covers off the side. And we're going to work on this. We're going to take these lights off on both sides and see if we can get in there. Then we'll have to take the tank all the way off. And while I'm in there, I might as well get a new air filter for it. Put that in. So, wish me luck. Never been into this thing before. All right, we got the auxiliary lights off, and I took pictures of those screws as they came out. And now we're taking these two out. There's one on each side, and that's this type of screw right here, which we're just throwing all in the box over here. And then we take the one on the other side out. And then it looks like we got a couple of those push type connectors where you push the center in to clear them out. And we should be able to take this piece off. I'm not sure if that'll free up the tank or not. Might. Maybe. The other ones I looked at, I watched a YouTube, but they were older bikes. And that's not wanting to come off, so I'll be back. All right, so we got these screws out here, and then we just kind of pulled this out of both places where it was in here. And you can see the front end of these has a hole in it, and that little tab goes up under here, right there, and then this little push pin goes in there, and that push pin secures that front end of that. The screws secure the back end. And my guess is we're going to have to take those two Allens out. Had a little trouble with this screw. The number 4 Allen stripped out in there. So I had to get my Dremel out and cut a slot in it, make it a slotted screwdriver, or screw. And now, if we take those two Allens out, I don't know if we have to take this piece off or not. I'm going to be upset if we do. I would think you should be able to get that to work without it. I'll be back. Okay, so last night I used my brand new siphon thingy. And I emptied out the tank, or most of it anyway. Then I tried to pick up the tank and move it, and it wouldn't move. And I realized there was 2 screws down here. So I had a number 5 Allen in that thing over there, that yellow and black thing. And I took that one out, and I went over to the other side to do that one, and the number 5 wouldn't work, so it's a number 4. So weird. Okay, both the same screws, but different size tool to take them apart. All right, the next stumbling block I ran into is to get this cable disconnected here. And I was looking at all the different ways to do that, and finally came up with, you push down on this little tab right here. I can't seem to do that with my finger, so I'm going to use a pair of needle nose. Now, according to what I read, under here there should be 2 hoses, one of which has a quick disconnect on it, and the other of which you just pull it off its little spout that it's on. But I think first what I need to do is raise this up and then prop it up so I can do that. And I don't have much light here, so let me see if I can find some light to put on it. Well, I've come to the conclusion that I need to take it to a dealer and have them look at it and see what they can find. It's probably going to cost $1,000 to fix it. But I was able to prop up the tank and look under there, and there's no indication that mice were in there. There's no nest material or anything down there. So I'm thinking that the secondary throttle valve actuator, or whatever it's called, must be bad. So I'm debating whether to put the plastics back on it or just take it over and the way it is. It runs just fine. As a matter of fact, it'll probably run right now, if there's got enough gas in it to run. Shall we see? Sure, why not? Let's give it a crank. If the battery's up enough. The battery was down yesterday, but clutch in, neutral. Yep, battery's not up. Put the battery charger on it. So my Woodruff key for this is out for delivery. So I guess I'll be working on this afternoon. I don't know whether to put this back together or not. I guess I will. Let's see if I can figure out how I took it apart. Well, I give up. I'm going to take it over to Makokada and have them look at it. See if they can figure it out. I got everything back together like it's supposed to be. And I found a place for all the screws. The only thing I have a problem with is a couple of these push pin things. There's 2 here, and then there's 2 up here. I'll have to see if I can get those in. Actually, those weren't there, the ones in the back. These were here, they're still here, but I need to get the pin pushed through.